What is going on, my YouTube family? That's right, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of this video. We are out here with the 2025 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy Gray Ghost for our first ride review. So let's get it. All right, so before we go over the specs of this motorcycle, I do want to say this is one beautiful machine. If you have not seen this bike in person, I'm going to suggest that you do so. So the Fat Boy comes with the 117 Milwaukee 8, putting out 122 foot-pounds of torque and 101 horsepower. You're going to get a wet weight of 694 pounds, and this baby does come with a 6-speed cruise drive transmission. You've got this beautiful 5-gallon gas tank that's going to get you 49 miles to the gallon. You've got a seat height of 25.9 inches and a ground clearance of 4.9 inches. You've got 49mm shocks up front and a hidden free piston coilover monoshock in the rear that, of course, you cannot see, which in my opinion makes this bike look super clean. You've got a 30-degree rake up front. Feel free to measure it if you want to. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but hey. An 18-inch wheel up front with a 160 tire and an 18-inch wheel out back with a 240 tire. Look at that big old booty. And you're gonna get ABS, cornering ABS, traction control, drag torque slip control, as well as a few other safety aids. And while this bike may look like a chrome lover's dream, this is not chrome. This is actually a paint process called physical vapor deposition, or PVD for short, not having anything to do with a venereal disease. And overall, I'm gonna say that is one beautiful machine. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But you don't wanna just talk about the bike, look at the bike. You wanna ride the bike. So let me get my gear on so we can get out here on the road. And by gear, I mean this little pile of stuff sitting right here on the middle of the concrete, probably getting hot as, oh look, some people on bikes. All right, so we are all geared up, about to hop on this 2025 Fat Boy. I mean, just look at that beautiful bike. So much chrome on it, but it's not actually chrome. It just looks really chrome. All right, let's mount up. So if you've seen my other Fat Boy video, you are already familiar with all of the controls. You're gonna get your cruise control options right here, as well as your low and high beams up here. You got a button to cycle through your display. You got your left turn signal and your horn. You got your right turn signal and your mode button. You got your hazard light. You got your traction control options, and you got your run and start switch here. You got this beautiful analog display with digital information below, such as your gas, your miles that's on the current bike, your trip A, your trip B. You're gonna get your remaining mileage to this tank of fuel. You're gonna get a clock that's never set. You're gonna get your RPM gauge. You're gonna get your front tire pressure and your rear tire pressure. And in case you did not know, this beauty belongs to Speedway Harley-Davidson in Concord, North Carolina. So if you have not seen this bike in person, definitely swing by the showroom and check this beauty out before she no longer exists. Well, she'll exist in the world, but not at the dealership. Let's get her cranked up. All right, so right now we're in road mode. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate rain mode like I typically do, but rain mode is basically for when it's raining, and it's toasty out here today. It ain't raining, but it's basically gonna reduce the feedback that's coming out of this throttle when you're twisting it. It's a great mode for new riders too. Like if you've never ridden one of these 117 motors, 114 motors, any of the bigger motors, this is a great option having rain mode, because if you're a brand new rider, you can throw it in rain mode and you can pick up a motorcycle that will last you a very long time. What I mean by that is one you won't grow out of. As you can see, slow speed maneuvers on this baby are extremely easy because of how wide those wheels are. I am not even giving it throttle, and I am able to keep this baby straight up and down. So this may be a pro for some newer riders who struggle with balancing the motorcycle, but there is a catch-22 side to that when it comes to leaning and turning on this bike. But we'll talk about that while we're out here on the road. But let's go. All right, I'm gonna put the shield down. So the Fat Boy is a very iconic motorcycle. There's a lot of Fat Boy fanboys out there that just love this machine because of its nostalgia, its look, the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger rode it in the Terminator. And it's just a beautiful bike. This is actually an anniversary year. It is the 35th anniversary of the Harley-Davidson Fat Boy. So Harley-Davidson decided to come up with a replica. It's not really a replica, but it's showing homage to the original Gray Ghost, which, to be fair, didn't really look like this. It was more of a satin or more flatter gray color. This baby shines from every direction. It's like, looks like you're riding on chrome, even though it's not chrome. It is a type of paint that Harley-Davidson came up with, and this is probably, in my opinion, one of the most unique paint jobs that Harley-Davidson has ever done on a motorcycle, ever. And I'm sure it's a difficult process. I wish I could see that process, because I bet it is a sight to be seen, especially with me liking to paint things myself as a hobby on the side. I would love to see how they painted this bike. But we're in rain mode. When you roll on throttle, very muted. I'm almost giving it full throttle, and it's nothing ridiculous, nothing aggressive. Great for a newer rider, great for those wet roads and preventing your rear wheel from slipping. But it's not wet out here, so we're jumping on into road mode, which you can switch modes while riding. So that's definitely a cool thing. Some manufacturers, you have to like stop to switch modes. Not a fan of that. I feel like you should be able to switch while riding. So now we're in road mode, the road that a lot of people will spend the majority of their time in because it's built for the road. You're going to get that traditional 117 power. You're going to get the experience of what this bike has to offer. And there's still one more stage where it'll offer a whole lot more. But road mode is a great mode to ride in. You're going to get power through every single gear, as well as throughout your RPM range. And it's just a nice ride. This bike is on the Softail platform, so you're going to get a very smooth ride because of the way the Softail platform is set up. The suspension is going to dampen these imperfections in the road amazingly. The cool part is with the Softail, you still get that hardtail look, but you've got that suspension in the rear that's keeping your booty nice and comfortable. Now, when it comes to the Fat Boy, it is one of those bikes that does not ride like any of the other motorcycles in the lineup because it has a fatter front tire as well as that wide 240 rear tire in the back. It's a hate it or love it type of relationship. Some people love that. Some people absolutely hate it. They say it's like that they just hate the way it rides. I've heard people say that's the worst riding Harley ever. Well, it just depends on how often you ride this bike. I know people who ride this motorcycle and can maneuver this thing like some straight beasts. That's because they're comfortable with the bike. They're used to riding the bike on a regular, and they've developed their riding style for this motorcycle. Now, is this my favorite riding Harley-Davidson out of the lineup? By no means, because I don't ride this bike enough to have become like to have developed my own riding style for this fatter tire setup. But will I get out and ride this motorcycle and have an enjoyable ride? Absolutely. It is an enjoyable ride on this bike. It's comfortable. I'm 6 feet tall. It's a comfortable ride. I'm 6 feet tall, about 230 pounds. I'm not feeling a bunch of bumps in the road. I've got plenty of power and performance. I can turn the bike, maneuver the bike, ride the bike with ease. There's no trouble with a learning curve as far as me riding this bike. And you got plenty of power, like you can see right there. And we're just in road mode. I didn't even switch over to sport mode to do my sport mode test yet because there's a lot of traffic on this road, and I don't think I'm going to get to do it right here unless let me do something real quick. I think we will get to do it. What we'll do, I'll go down a little bit. Now, you're going to get a lot of things on this bike that are going to make it extremely comfortable. One thing is the floorboards. That way you can maneuver your feet forward and backward to adjust, to give your legs a little bit of stretching when you need to do so. You also are going to have a wider seat on here that is surprisingly comfortable, and a lot of times Harley-Davidson stock seats are not the most comfortable seats, but this seat is really comfortable. The handlebar placement is a little lower than I prefer, but I feel like for the styling of this motorcycle is right where it needs to be. I hate seeing a Fat Boy with those big old ape hangers on it it just takes away from the look of this bike. So if you're thinking about buying one of these and throwing some huge ape hangers on it, please don't destroy the look of your Fat Boy. Now that these new Harley-Davidsons are coming with ride modes, all of the different tech on them, Harley's giving you everything you've been asking for, and people still want to complain. I don't get it. I mean, you got what you asked for. Stop complaining and ride the damn motorcycles. One thing that was way back in the past that some people, not a lot of people, and a lot of people feel like it's not even the case, but I know it is, and I'm rambling, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about, is the solid wheels that used to be on the previous Fat Boys, and when wind hit you from the side, you kind of would feel it. Some people say that's not a thing. I've literally experienced that. But now these wheels do have slits in them, and the wind or the crosswinds do not affect your ride at all. You're gonna get a beautiful ride on this motorcycle. The one thing you're gonna have to adjust to is the wider tire setup, being comfortable maneuvering and mainly cornering this bike or taking it up to some twisties or something like that if you want to do that. All right, we're going to be able to turn here, so I'm going to jump her on in a sport mode. So when I turn, I can do a quick acceleration test. We're not going to do anything ridiculous today because this is a brand new unit and I don't want to whine her all the way out, but we'll show you what she can do. All right, we're in sport mode, so I'm going to cruise. I'm in first gear. I'm right around 15 miles per hour. I'm going to just hit it now. Oh, yeah, boys. I didn't want to go too fast. There's too many cuts over here, and not in the mood for a ticket right now. But as you can see, we're in sport mode. You twist that throttle. Ooh, it's gonna go. You're gonna get plenty of torque out of this bike, and it rides really, really good. Now, as you can see, this is a curve, and the bike's handling it quite well. I'm not feeling squirrely. I'm not feeling like I'm going to lose traction. I'm not intimidated by it. It'll handle these curves quite well. I mean, look at it go. All right, we're coming into a light, so let me get to braking. And we'll do another quick acceleration test here. There we go. Got the green light. We're going to go and we're going to just hit it. Oh! Woo! Yeah, 117 never disappoints a baby. The bike is fun to ride. It's a fun bike to ride. Now, I do want to address, I don't know if it's the elephant in the room, but something I heard people say was that because of the bike has this chrome finish all over it, it affects you while riding as far as the reflection from the bike blinding you. I haven't had that happen to me today, so I'm gonna have to debunk that and say it's not really affecting you. Like, it feels like any other motorcycle. I'm not getting a bunch of reflection back in my face that's blinding me. Now, if I look down, yeah, I can see myself in my big old belly right there in the tank, which is kind of cool. Hey, Ryda, how you doing? But there's nothing that's changing the way this bike rides or affecting my riding ability with the sun being out. Now, of course, we always do a scale of 1 to 10 on if this is something that I would physically put in my garage. Now, a Fat Boy, again, is not my favorite motorcycle, but because this bike is so very unique, I could see myself putting this in my garage, but I'm right around a 6.5 or 7 on that decision. I want y'all to comment down below, 1 through 10, put a number. Would you put this motorcycle in your garage? They only made 1,990 of these babies. This is 1,626 I'm sitting on. So it's going to be a unique bike that you're not going to see everywhere, which I love owning a unique motorcycle. That's why I customize all my bikes. All right, let's see if we make the light. We're still in sport mode. Yeah, this bike is fun to ride. Let me put her back in road more before I put her back on the showroom floor. And I have saw some heads turn while I've been out here riding this bike today. Beautiful machine. A machine definitely worth checking out. Even if you don't pick it up, it's definitely worth seeing in person. And if you are anywhere, I mean anywhere near the Concord area, swing by Speedway Harley-Davidson, which you see right here in front of me, and check this baby out. come say what's up to me. You know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know, I'm about to slip that in there. Do that. Definitely get this video a thumbs up. Share this video, please do so. Watch it to the end. Do all that good stuff, and comment. Is this a motorcycle you would be interested in? But I'm about to pull this baby back into the showroom. I will say I had a blast out here on this bike. Definitely check out my Instagram. You'll see some beautiful photos of this machine, and follow Speedway Harley-Davidson. And I will, see you in the next one.